I sincerely hope that you have been profiting from our recent hot stretch with the MLB predictions. 2 weeks ago, we posted a positive profit in each of the 4 days where I published a YouTube video. Each video presented between 5 to 8 betting picks. Now, last week, we picked up more profit, and I'm not even talking about the famous LOBSTER bet, the best wager every day across all sports, that has won 10 bets in a row. I'm going to be talking about all of this today, and I will also share 6 free plays with you in Major League Baseball. So let's rock and roll!
This is the future.
Are you ready to crush your bookies?
Evolution.
Alright, let's get started today's video where I will share 6 picks in Major League Baseball. Now, as promised, let's see quickly how we fared last week. So the last time I talked to you was last Friday. On that day, we picked up a 3-2 record, which was fantastic, given that we got 2 pretty big underdogs. As you can see, we took the Astros with a bad pitching duel in our favor, who won the game despite plus 162 odds, and we also won the Giants minus 1.5 at plus 125 odds. As you can see at the bottom, a $100 gambler obtained a profit of $164. Now, on Wednesday and Tuesday, here is how we fared. On Tuesday, we got a profit of $138. On Wednesday, $129. And finally, on Monday, this is the only day where we suffered some losses, but that was less than 1 unit. As you can see, we got a 3-3 record, which led to a loss of $66. So basically, if you take a look at the past 8 YouTube videos, we have obtained a positive profit 7 times compared to just 1 day where we suffered some losses. Alright, now, what about the famous LOBSTER bet, which is my flagship product? Basically, this is what I believe is the best bet every single day. Now, like I said in the introduction, we have won the past 10 picks. You can see what they have been since I started this new concept on April 23rd. In fact, as you can see at the top, so far we have obtained 22 wins versus just 5 losses, which is astounding. So for example, yesterday we took the Phillies minus 1.5 at the Rockies. They trailed 3-1 after 6 innings, but they ended up winning the game 9-3. On Sunday, we took under 4.5 for the first 5 innings in the Pirates-Phillies game. Just 1 run had been scored during the first half, so this was an easy winner. On Saturday, we took Schonberg from the White Sox to get over 3.5 strikeouts. This was a tight win because he picked up 4 punch-outs, and so on. So as you can see, we've been on fire. A person risking $100 has earned a profit above $1,300 so far, and we have a corresponding return on investment of 49.7%, which is astounding. Alright, now this will be one of your last chance to sign up for the LOBSTER bet in May. I will provide a link below, as I'm going to set up a new package where you can get the LOBSTER bet every day in your mailbox. So just follow the link below to get in the action. Alright, so now let's get started with today's picks. And again, a quick reminder that I am now grading each pick, which has corresponded with the beginning of our recent hot run. So a 5-star pick means it is viewed as a premium pick, and that also means that it is being shared at mjpicks.com. This is the site where I published my premium picks across all sports. So you get between 3 and 7 plays each day. 4 stars means a great pick, 3 stars good, 2 stars decent, and 1 star borderline acceptable. And again, a quick reminder that 1 star doesn't mean it's a crappy pick. It means it is borderline acceptable. I only present picks that I believe are worth betting in my videos. Now, a disclaimer before I present my 6 predictions for today. So after analyzing today's slate of games, in general, I feel like there are not a lot of great bets today. Okay, so it's below average in terms of showing some good value. There are not many picks that I love. So far, I have posted 2 premium picks at mjpicks.com, by the way. Alright, so let's start with a first pick. Now, today we have 3 plays that qualify under the following betting system, which is called the Stingy Pitchers. So it's clearly worth reviewing its rules. Fade the road team, so that means you are betting against the road team if they won their past 2 games by allowing either 0 or 1 run in each of those victories, and if their money line today is smaller than plus 150. So that's the same as 2.5 in decimal. For example, if the road team's money line is plus 135, which is the same as 2.35, then that's okay. That meets the criterion for betting. Now, if we focus on the Cincinnati Reds, let's take a look at their recent schedule. Well, today they are the visiting team in Pittsburgh, with the game starting at 6:40 p.m. Eastern Time. So they are the road team. They did allow either 0 or 1 run in each of their last 2 games. In fact, you could even go 3 games back. They have won 7-1, 3-1, and 4-1. And their money line today is it is well below plus 150. In fact, the Reds are favorites today. So by following the rules, my first pick is to go against the Reds. So I'm taking the Pittsburgh Pirates to win straight up at plus 120 odds, or 2.20 in decimal. Now, a word of caution. As you can see, the grade is 1 star. So I think it is worth betting, but it's borderline acceptable. I'm far from being excited about this bet, as you can tell. Now, a few words about this play. So this betting system started the season pretty hot with a 7-2 record, but since then it has posted a 4-9 record. So that means that overall, during the 2025 campaign, we have accumulated 11 wins versus 11 losses by using this betting system. It has fared quite well in recent years, and if I remember correctly, I grade it as a 4-star system out of 5, so it is above average among my 19 MLB betting strategies. Now, I do have some sources of concern, obviously, since I am grading it to 1 star. First of all, the Pirates have scored a grand total of 3 runs across their last 3 contests, so their offense has been pretty cold. And Cincinnati is currently riding a 5-game winning streak. However, Falter, who is starting for Pittsburgh, owns a 0.54 ERA in his past 3 starts, so he's been rock solid. The batting average against during those 3 outings has been 130. So he's been very good, and hopefully it will continue today. He will be facing Nick Martinez, who whose career ERA against the Pirates is 5.4D. So that is reassuring, but Falter has not enjoyed facing Cincinnati in his career, as evidenced by his 6.81 ERA against the Reds in his career. So based on all those arguments, I am taking the Pirates, but this is a borderline acceptable play, so that's why it is graded 1 star. I feel there is a bit of value with this bet. Now up next, let's talk about the Atlanta versus Washington game. I am taking the Braves to win outright. The best available line is -176 with Pinnacle. This pick is rated 3 stars. So this means this is a good bet, in my humble opinion. Now the big story in this game is, of course, Spencer Strider returning to the mound for the Braves. He returned from Tommy John surgery last month, but unfortunately, he got hurt again. This time it was a hamstring injury. So in his lone start this year, he gave up 2 earned runs in 5 innings in Toronto against the Blue Jays. Now he may not be ready for a full workload, but the entire team will be motivated to see him back in the lineup. So I feel like they will give an extra effort. Now Strider was dominant in 2022 and 2023, going a combined 31-10 during those 2 seasons, coupled with a 3.36 ERA. And in 318 innings, he struck out 483 batters, which is eye-popping. His counterpart will be Mitchell Parker, who has been dreadful lately. If you take a look at his past 4 appearances, he has posted an ERA of 9.68. So during this stretch, he has pitched 17 2/3 innings, collecting just 12 strikeouts versus 13 walks, which is very bad. Now, the Braves qualify under a betting system called the Hot Bats, which goes as follows. Fade the home team if they either won their past 2 games by scoring at least 6 runs in each of those 2 victories, or if they won their past 4 games by scoring 5+ runs in each of those victories. Now, Washington has won each of its past 2 contests by scoring exactly 10 runs, so the system expects them to see their bats to cool off today, and so do I. So I feel like the Braves will win. By the way, this betting angle has produced a 24-25 record, which seems ordinary on the surface, but it tends to pick many more underdogs in the process. So if you risked 1 unit on each of those 49 plays, you earned a profit over 4 units. Now, my source of concern and the reason why it is only graded 3 stars out of 5 is the fact that Mitchell Parker has been much more solid at home compared to being away from home. So since 2023, his home ERA is 2.83, which is fantastic, compared to 6.37 on the road. So that's a big difference. So I'm a bit wary that he could bounce back. And also, we are not sure what we're going to get out of Spencer Strider. So still, I feel like Atlanta is a good bet, but it's rated 3 stars, so I'm not going overboard with this play. Up next, in the Rangers-Yankees game, I like a player prop bet. More specifically, Patrick Corbin, Texas starting hurler, to record under 15.5 outs. So in other words, I am banking on the fact that he will last a maximum of 5 innings on the mound. As you can see from the screenshot, the best current odds are -132 in American format, which is the same as 1.76 in decimal. However, I have seen several bookies with a line as bad as -190, which is not that great. So the line on Corbin varies quite a bit between each sportsbook right now. But with this line, this is a good bargain in my opinion. So a few arguments about this betting pick. So this is obviously a tough road matchup for Corbin against the Yankees, who boast an 878 OPS versus left-handed pitchers so far in the 2025 season. Now, after posting an ERA above 5 in each of his past 4 seasons, well, Patrick Corbin has been performing surprisingly well with his new club, the Rangers. But is it going to last? I don't think so. So far this year, this bet holds a 3-4 record, but he may be rocked by the Bronx Bombers, so I feel like this is a good value wager. This is my third pick, and it gets a 4-star rating. This is the highest rating among the 6 free picks that I'm going to share with you today. Now up next, let's talk about Seattle against the Chicago White Sox. In that game, I am taking an underdog. The White Sox plus half a run in the first 5 innings at plus 105 odds, which is the same as 2.05 in decimal format. And this pick received a 2-star grade. So basically what this bet means is we are betting the White Sox after 5 innings to either be leading or the game to be tied. So in this case, the White Sox are currently in last place of the AL Central Division, and they are attempting to rebuild a roster on limited funds. And meanwhile, the Mariners are flying high by currently holding the top spot in the AL West Division, and they are also riding a 4-game winning streak right now. Now their pitching staff has been hurling fantastically well recently. If you look at Seattle's last 6 games, they have given up a grand total of 8 runs to their opponents, which is incredible. Now you may be thinking, well, maybe they were playing against poor offenses. Well, no. Well, okay, so yesterday they played against the White Sox, who don't have a great offense, but their prior 5 games were against offensive juggernauts, the Padres and the Yankees. So this is a great accomplishment. But I'm still taking the White Sox. In the first half run line. One of the reasons is because they also fit under the stingy pitchers betting system that I told you about earlier. So like I said at the beginning, today we have 3 squads fitting under the stingy pitchers betting strategy. Now, in normal circumstances, I would be taking Chicago with the full game money line, but I did not feel so good about this bet. So after doing my due diligence, I feel like the first half run line provides better value for gamblers like you and I. So that's my selection here, the White Sox run line for the first half. Alright, we are now pick number 5 concerns the Phillies versus Rockies game. So yesterday this game involved my lobster bet, not today. But here's what I like in this match. I like the Rockies team total to go over 3.5. In other words, I am betting Colorado to score at least 4 runs at home against Philadelphia. This pick is rated 3 stars out of 5, by the way. Now, of course, facing Jesus Luzardo is scary at first sight. He's been rock solid with his new club, as shown by his 2.00 ERA this season, and he has given up 2 runs or fewer in 8 of his 9 outings. And the only time that he failed to do so, he gave up 3 earned runs, so nothing to be ashamed of course. But in 4 career appearances against the Rockies, he owns an ERA of 6.75. And 2 of those appearances took place in Denver. And do you want to know what his ERA has been in Denver in his career? 12.15. Also, it's worth noting how the Rockies have been more competitive since firing their manager. I am aware that they still posted a 1-6 record since doing that, but the games have been much closer. I feel they are going in the right direction, so I am betting on Colorado to score at least 4 runs today at home against Philly. Now let's move on to pick number 6. So again, we have a team qualifying under the stingy pitchers system. If you take a look at Kansas City's recent schedule, well, today they are on the road against the Giants. They did win their past 2 games by squandering a maximum of 1 run, and today their money line is below plus 150. In fact, their money line today is hovering around plus 120. So we need to fade the Royals if we follow the rules, and that's why pick number 6 goes to their opponent, the San Francisco Giants, to win outright. This time, the best available odds are minus 140 in American format, which corresponds to 1.714 in decimal odds, and this play is rated 2 stars. So this should be a cracking contest between 2 franchises that are likely to be fighting for a playoff spot in their respective leagues. Michael Lorenzen gets the nod for Kansas City. He's been enjoying a pretty good season with a 3.76 ERA and a 1.23 whip stat. Remember that the league average is around 1.30, so he has been a bit better than average. However, it's worth noting how this year at home, he has posted a tiny 0.95 ERA compared to 5.35 on the road. So he clearly doesn't like pitching on the road, and unfortunately for Lorenzen, he is away from home today. Now he is going to be squaring off against second-year man Hayden Birdsong. He replaces Jordan Hicks, who has been ineffective. Birdsong owns a rock-solid 2.31 ERA this season, but they all came from the bullpen. Now, so how will he fare as a starter? Last year, he made 16 starts, and in those games, he posted a fairly high 4.75 ERA. So that's why this is not a 4 or 5 star pick today. I do have my concerns here. However, the Royals have been much weaker on the road, and also the Giants have been very reliable at home. In fact, San Francisco owns a 16-8 record at beautiful Oracle Park compared to being just 12-12 on the road. Lorenzen was born in Southern California, but he has had no success against the Giants. In 10 games, he has obtained a 7.11 ERA against San Francisco. So there you go. You have my 6 free picks in Major League Baseball showing on your screen right now. I really appreciate you watching this video. I'll be back tomorrow with more picks. And again, a quick reminder that you have the chance to sign up to receive my lobster bets until the end of the month of May. So we have 12 more days left. So you can follow the link below. So in the comment section or also in the video's description, if you want to jump in the action. Remember how we have been on fire since I started sharing my best wager on a daily basis. We have racked up 22 wins versus 5 losses. So again, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Professor MJ from Quebec City in Canada, saying so long, my friend.